Hello and welcome to another episode of the e-commerce coffee break. Let me ask you questions. Are you using discount codes in your store? Of course you do. Everyone else does. But is that really the best thing you can do with your store? Have you ever thought about that? Probably you did, but you did not come to a conclusion what's better than discount codes because everyone is using this. Now, there might be something that is interesting for you, and we will look into this today. So therefore, with me today on the show, I have Andrew Foreman. He's the founder and CEO of Givz.com. That's Givz.com. Givz is a first donation-driven marketing platform. We'll dive into that, what that means in a second. It helps basically Shopify merchants drive sales without discounts while reaching an increasingly socially aware demographic. Prior to Givz, Andrew spent 6 years in investment banking and was a treasurer of a nonprofit organization. He holds an MBA from Harvard Business School and a BA in mathematics and economics from the Hamilton College. So let's talk a little bit why donations might be better than discounts. Hi, Andrew. How are you today?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here.
You're welcome. Andrew, tell me what's the problem with discounts?
Yeah, so I could go on the problems with discounts, but I'll start at the top where, just the immediate impact of 20% less revenue or 10 or 15 or 30% less revenue, right? So crushing margins just to start. But I think the bigger issues are around attracting the wrong type of customer. Consistently, we look into data that Shopify shops have, and they're looking at customers that came in via discounts, especially as their first touch point with the brand, are usually the lowest lifetime value customers that come through at the end of the day. They're going to be searching for the next discount at the next brand, and they're not very loyal. And at the end of the day, continued consistent discounts start to degrade the value of the brand. People think of you as a discount brand, and the full price really just need a discount. And so I think, there's also the discount rabbit hole where folks, you run a discount this week in 2022, 2023, you need to have good year over year numbers, and you need to look at have that same pop this week. So you need to run a discount again, and you start to go down that. I could go on this for hours, but I think those are the main issues with discounts right now.
Okay, now we have the problem we know now about. So what's the solution? How did you come up with a different solution than just getting another discount out in the world?
Yeah, I wish I could say that I just sat and masterminded this. But what ended up happening was we pivoted our business. And when we did, it was because two brands came to me and said, hey, we love what you're building, which was donation incentives. We were able to give credit to people for taking specific actions to give to any charity that they wanted. And we had two retail brands come to us and say, hey, can we, instead of giving people a discount, can we give them $50? If they sign up for our service, can we give them $50 to give to any charity they want on your platform? And I said, yeah, that sounds great. That's actually exactly what we want to be doing. Let's try it. And so they ran an A/B test on Facebook, the first try. And they said, sign up now and get $50 off. That was the A test. B test was sign up now and get $30 to give to a charity of your choice. I don't know why they didn't do 50 and 50, but they did 50 and 30. And the $30 to give to the charity of your choice had a 20% better cost of acquisition. So 20% better conversion, and at the end of the day, save them a ton of money on the ads and juice their revenue. So that, because on top of getting better conversion, they also weren't giving the $50 off, so they actually had full price purchases. So that was the first key. And then the next A/B test that somebody ran, it was a handbag company that ran a test on email and said, use this discount code for $40 off. Other B test was use this code for $40 to give to a charity of your choice. And again, saw like 19% increase in revenue and coupon code usage when it was the $40 to give to charity. So that was all I needed to see. We pivoted the whole business, built our product fully around this. And the coupon hasn't been disrupted in 150 years since it was invented. So this is where we are, and we're excited.
Okay, that's really surprising. I thought a discount coupon is there to just bring people over the hurdle to buy from you. You use it in conjunction with, I don't know, urgency, scarcity, discount coupons, all of these things, just to get people to buy from you, that a donation will increase your conversion rate actually is a complete different angle, which I did not expect at all. So that's very interesting to hear. Now, obviously, a lot of companies have trained their customers already on the discount usage. It's like, yes, okay, now I have a bad customer. I trained them that way. So what can I do? Who's the best customer, or who's basically the target audience for donations? Is there certain people where it works better than others?
So we've seen it work really across the board. This was the first two companies that tried it were both more luxury goods. And so my initial thought, and this is just straight from experience, our initial thought was, hey, more price insensitive customers would be open to this. And then our first really big enterprise client was H&M, which is not like a luxury brand, right, per se, and in fact targeting the younger generations and trying to folks with maybe a little bit less spending power, et cetera, but a huge conglomerate of them, and they really care about social impact. And then you've been hearing this over and over again. So I was nervous. Here comes the proof in the pudding. You spend over $60 at H&M, get $10 to give to a charity of your choice. Will that perform as well as a discount email? And it did. In fact, it performed immaterially better than the discount email. Which to me is still slightly better, but I guess at the end of the day, even if it's the same as a discount, it's not a discount, and it's something that's actually doing some good in the world as well. So they donated, over $150,000 from that effort, and in 10 days. So exciting stuff.
Okay, so definitely we see people who are conscious about the environment on different other courses. So they're more likely to give to any of these courses than to save money in their own pocket. Now, obviously, as I said, you said it works all over the board with everything. Is there certain age groups where it works better than with other age groups? Just to get an idea of who to target with that.
We are seeing that the younger demographics are skewing even more positive. We're seeing positive results across the board still, but if you have a younger demographic, the best, younger demographic and women in particular, again, see outsized results with younger women demographic. That's the if you put it in a matrix, older, younger, men, women. The women, even the older men, we're still seeing positive results, and that's the worst quadrant. But the younger female demo has far and away been the results have been amazing. So on that side, and just one thing to touch on that you mentioned. So consumer psychology around this, when I'm talking to brands about this, I am talking about it as like a discount replacement, a promotional type of item. When we have some best practices when the brands talk to their consumers, you're not talking about it as a discount. You're not saying like, hey, donate your discount or anything like that. As a consumer, the message that you're hearing is, hey, this brand is awesome. Anytime I spend $50 or more, they donate they give me 5% of my purchase back to donate to any charity I want. That's a really cool initiative that I've never heard of before, but I'm going to spend over $50 to then be able to support whatever charity I care about. They'll tell me what they care about and I can join them in that, but I'm going to get to give to whatever I care about. And that's something that's interesting. And we've seen it over and over again. They don't think about that as a discount. They don't make the leap that like, oh, this could have been a discount and instead now it's a donation, but they just like the initiative.
Yeah, I think it makes people feel good about themselves. So there's a lot of psychology going on in there. So I did something good for the world. So it makes me the better person at the end of the day. That's now, right. Obviously, you just touched on that is how do you find out, or how do you find the right charity? You said you can basically donate to everyone. How does that work?
So right now we have a list of over 250,000 charities in the U.S. currently that you can give to. Our partners, the PayPal Giving Fund on the disbursement side. But what we do is we allow the brands and we encourage brands to highlight specific charities, and we can help folks pick the charities that we think will resonate with their audiences. A lot of times brands already have charities that they really care about and they want to get the word out that they support these charities more. This is a great way to do that. So you don't want to put just a search bar and say, here's 250,000 charities, go pick one. You highlight 3 or 4 that you really care about as a brand and that help, that like support maybe each one of your brand pillars. And then people see those. Honestly, if you're doing it the right way and your brand pillars reflect what your customers' values are, your customers end up choosing one of those highlighted charities anyway, because they do care about it. But the fact that you have that search bar and the 10% of people that use the search bar that have, either have a charity themselves or their friend or brother or sister sits on the board of a charity, they get to type in that charity and send $20 there, courtesy of the brand that they just purchased from. That's where you get positive customer service emails, right? Like the only time you'll ever get positive customer service emails that you were able to support a charity that you really cared about as an individual.
Okay, so I think that can be like a win-win-win situation. So obviously the customer wins, they feel good, they do something good. You as a brand, as a merchant, obviously you win, higher conversion rates, get a better brand image, and so on and so forth. And then finally, of course, the charity wins there. Now, if to multiply this a little bit is like, how can you as a merchant, how will the charity know that you have donated to them? Is that something they know about and that you can sort of put their badge on their website, or how does it work?
That's a great question. So as I mentioned, we disperse through the PayPal Giving Fund. So every month we send, all of the brands make their donations at the end of the month. We funnel that through to the PayPal Giving Fund with instructions as to how to send out all the different money. And now we're actually starting to include a message, and merchants can decide if they want their contact information on there or whatever they want. They have 300 characters to tell the charities, hey, this donation came from Therese, this donation came from Fur Haven Pet Products, right? Like that's where we're still learning and iterating. So some merchants really want to let those charities know, and then we've actually seen the closed loop happen where we send the charity some money that one of our clients donated. That charity then connected with the brand, and now they've got a partnership going on the side as well that just feeds this whole relationship. So that's the ideal way that we'd like this to work. And I think big vision, we can ultimately build a matchmaking service for charities and corporates, as they really do need each other's help. But that's a couple of years out.
Okay, no, that sounds great for me. I'm an old digital marketer, and obviously I'm looking always for ways where you can get more out of it. And that sounds like a great solution. Now, tell me, obviously we know it now in theory, how it works and so on and so forth. How does it work in real life? How does it work on a Shopify store?
Yeah, so Shopify store, we've made it super easy. We have a Shopify donation app, right? Called Gives Incentive. Actually, we keep changing the name, but if you type in Gives into Shopify App Store, you'll be able to find us, GIVZ. And we make it, it's out of the box, able to use. There's, a couple of different tiers if you want to be able to run multiple incentives at once, schedule out your campaigns, then you'll go into the higher tier. If you just want to say, hey, I want to increase my average order value, spend over $100, get $10 to give to a charity of your choice, you can support that on the lower tier, and be able to run from there. It's quite intuitive and easy to set up. As I said, the funds flow happens at the end of the month. So after 100 people donate $10 to 75 different charities, you just make one payment at the end of the month for $1,000, and that gets distributed to the 75 different charities.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward. Okay, how does it look for the buyer, for somebody who's buying? Where does that happen?
That's a great question. That's a great question, and something that is always skipped and needs to be touched upon, right? Because this, without the way without promoting this, you're not going to see any value from it, right? I mean, sure, it'll be a surprise and delight after somebody purchases. So it's important to note that, and you're the conversion rate optimization guy, right? So and I'm sure you've been preaching to everybody that the fewer clicks ahead of checkout, the better, right? Every click adds drop off, no matter what it is. You don't want people to think about how can, what charity should I support here? On the front end, super important to talk about here. How does the customer know about it, right? Because if they don't know about it, then it's just going to be a surprise and delight thing. It's important that this happens after checkout, right? So after somebody makes a qualifying purchase, if that's spend over $100, or if it's any purchase, we're giving 10%, for Black History Month, we're giving 10% of every single purchase back to our customers to give to their, favorite inclusion charity, period, full stop. So that's how I think, the important piece is, how do you promote it without adding any clicks ahead of time? So how it looks like on site is generally there's a banner. There's also floating buttons that we have in our app that you can turn on. So it can say, hey, 10% for charity. Click here to learn more. People click it, then they see, on the homepage, oh, if I spend $100 or more, I'm going to get $10 to give to a charity of my choice. Very cool. And dismiss that and keep shopping. But on the actual checkout page itself, there's nothing there, right? Maybe a note that just says, hey, if you're spending over $100, stick around because you're going to get $10 to give to a charity of your choice. But then once they actually purchase, on the confirmation page, directly on the confirmation page, they don't have to leave there. That's where they actually have a module that shows them, hey, here are the charities that this company cares about. You've earned a credit that you can give to one of them, or you can use the search bar and give to any charity that you fundamentally care about. Aside from on-site banner placements, widgets, and floating buttons and product page inserts, there's also your traditional ways of getting the message out there, right? So of course on email, on ads, on social ads, on organic social posts, the more you can get this in front of folks, the better it performs.
Okay, no, I think that's a very smart solution, because obviously you have built up already all the trust on your brand with the customer. So they trust you already, and they go through the checkout process, and then you come with your donation offer there. So I think that's a really, really smart solution to work with that. So you don't have to do all the work in regards of donate. No, you're just selling your product, and then you come with donate to a charity. Really good, really good done. That basically kills my last question. That was like, how do you build up trust? But I mean, that basically you have done that already. So yeah. where can people? Yeah,
I would say just quickly on that front, like the search bar that sits there that only 10% of people or 10 to 20% of people actually utilize to make a donation to a very specific organization. The fact that search bar is there, authenticity and being genuine, I think having that search bar there, telling people we trust you, whatever you care about, we genuinely care about, it's massive, super, super important. And then to close that loop, when somebody actually says, okay, here's the charity that I want to support, Gibbs actually sends them a receipt that says, hey, this brand has now donated $7.50 on your behalf to this charity because you took this action. And so them getting that closed loop builds even more trust, because a lot of cause marketing efforts, in the old version of this, where they're saying like, yeah, 10% of profits go to this, and people don't even know if you're profitable or if that money went there. They have no clue, and so providing that closed loop is extremely important.
Yeah, very well thought through. Obviously, now we have learned a lot, and obviously, I hope that the listeners and whoever watches on YouTube will now understand that a donation might be the better solution than a discount. I just throw in there, it increases your conversion rate. Think about it. So where can people find out more about it? Obviously on your website, any other places where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find us on gibbs.com, givez.com, as well as we now have a YouTube channel that walks you through a bunch of stuff. You can find us on the Shopify App Store, of course, and we have a bunch of helpful resources and in our blog, and we have a couple of playbooks as well. We also do LinkedIn Lives every Tuesday, just bringing on clients and partners. So would love to have you on LinkedIn Live one of these days, talk about help people understand their optimization. And so yeah, that's where you can find us.
Cool. I will put all the links in the show notes so people can find you directly there. Thank you, Andrew. I think it was very, very insightful. And I think it's definitely something that people should try out. And I personally getting tired of discount codes flying around. And I'm recommending my clients not to do so. So I think they should look into donations. Thanks so much
Awesome.
for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Klaus here. Before you leave, I have a question for you. Are you a Shopify store owner and you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and not sure what to do next to grow your business? Do you struggle to convert traffic into sales and turn website visitors into buyers? Do you want to have direct access to a mentor who can assist you with your store, your strategy, offer, marketing, sales, and anything else you might need in your business? Then I would invite you to apply for my Get Conversions program, where I show you how to remove the guesswork out of growing your Shopify business and create clarity to optimize your business for maximal growth and profit. This is an application-only program. To apply, go to klauslauter.com to learn more. And finally, please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It's a huge help and allows me to reach more people with this channel. Thanks in advance, and until next time at the e-commerce coffee break.